Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1016. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today, the return of the much-loved news segment, WOW SCHATZ WOW, where we look at interesting things that will make you go, wow. And Schatz is a term of endearment. Endearment in Germany. So that's what that is.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Plus, we hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere, the engineer, Fizz.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yes. So this is the last week of changing your insurance. This tends to be a yearly occurrence that I usually ignore till I get a letter that caused a disturbance. They're raising my insurance by over $50. That's a nuisance, so I will find something cheaper this weekend now.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I have to complain about Anthem. They have a horrible website and there's nothing good about them.
Mike's
And now they're
Daily
buying Cigna
Podcast
to become the biggest health insurer in the world. They waited till the very, very last week before telling me how much they were raising my insurance by. I was kind of waiting it out. I was saying maybe they're not going to raise it by that much and I'll hold on to it because I'm grandfathered in. No, $50 more. That's cold. I'm done. I'm going to find something new. I'm going to find someone like you. No, I'm not going to Adele it. I'm just going to I'm going to do something new. It's like I'm going to change my hair, but I don't have hair. So I'm going to change. I don't know what I'm going to change. I wish I could change how many trucks are on the freeway. So I drove this stretch of freeway yesterday, and it took forever to drive down the freeway, and it was all because of two trucks. There were two huge big rig trucks that were on this freeway, and for some reason, they were causing all the other cars to drive slower. Now, the next day, same stretch of freeway, no trucks, same amount of cars. We moved so quickly, such a brisk pace. What the heck, trucks? I could find a more expletive-laden way of saying that would rhyme with trucks. Oh, look who just walked in right there. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. I hear that you and Haley were imitating me the other day. We were. I yelled out for you to come to the microphone to talk, but you didn't hear me or something. I heard you yell meatloaf for some reason. Yeah, I yelled out meatloaf. Why not yell meatloaf? Wasn't that a guy? There was a guy named Meatloaf. Yeah, he's still around. Meatloaf has outlasted so many rock stars that, my gosh, Meatloaf was supposed to be the one that died first, and now he's outlasted all these rock stars. He got his act together. He lost a bunch of weight. Good for Meatloaf, even though he's named after something that's probably not the healthiest thing for you. Although you can make a healthy meatloaf. You just need to use a very lean type of meat. Start off with turkey meat or something. Very lean. Mike Matthews, what are you talking about? I'm talking about meatloaf. I'm getting myself hungry. Because I would do anything for lunch, but I won't do that. Haha, you made it funny. I think I did. Not really. This podcast today is more of an informing you type podcast, letting you know what's going on and that you should change your insurance if you have Anthem. They work underhandedly, to be quite honest. Look who else just walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, I don't need health insurance at all. What? Why not? Because I am a hybrid. I am part human, part machine, which I have created this machine on my own. And so I will never die or get sick. It's true, Mike. He never gets sick. He's a machine. I'm Floyd the Floorman. Wow, I didn't know you were a cyborg now. John Deere, the engineer. We prefer the term machine men. Machine men? Machine men. Ah, okay. Yeah, so here we are, the last week of January, And we got the WOW SCHATZ WOW segment we're going to get into right now. But first I wanted to tell you that Mike's Daily Podcast is a website, mikesdailypodcast.com. And you can go there and find out all the places you can listen to the show. There's so many places, it's scary. And there's also links to, like, if you want to help us out, if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, go through the link there at mikesdailypodcast.com and it helps us out. And we appreciate that you do that. There's the PayPal, too, if you'd like to donate to the show and become an Inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster. And there's also all the past interviews that I've done and podcast pictures and stuff. Oh, yeah, I have to figure out what podcast picture I'm going to use for today. Haha. Well, we'll figure that out in a moment. No need to rush this. But we do have all that at mikesdailypodcast.com. And now, here we are with WOW SCHATZ WOW. Named after my mom, who, when I tell her something surprising, she goes, WOW SCHATZ WOW! Because she's German, and she calls me Schutz. Term of endearment, that whole thing.
WOW SCHATZ WOW.
All I wanna do is get high by the beach, get high by the beach, get high. All I wanna do is get high.
That is Lana Del Rey. I have to play Lana Del Rey because apparently I don't know that much about Lana Del Rey, and apparently she's this thing. I don't know who she is, really. I remember she first came out, and all of a sudden she got on SNL, on Saturday Night Live, and people were like, who is this girl? Why is she on Saturday Night Live? And then they dug up this information about her and found out she went by another name for a while, and that she actually had some plastic surgery and all this other stuff. So, Lana Del Rey, apparently, that's one of her songs that we just heard. And her life appears to be getting better after a long battle with 4 criminal-minded fans. This according to Inquisitor.com. Inquisitor, another one of those websites that decided not to involve any vowels in the equation at the end of the name. Like Tumblr doesn't have an ER, just R. Swift justice involving a terrorizing fan may not be enough for Lana Del Rey. She could use the support of her boyfriend. Instead, her boyfriend, Francesco Carrozzini, is in Italy helping the Pope save the planet, on top of helping his mom get ready for big changes at her job. Last year, Lana Del Rey said she was suffering from panic attacks and depression. But could it be the source of her feelings is that she is repeatedly terrorized by fans? TMZ wrote January 11th that Lana Del Rey did get some justice after 3 separate terrorizing incidents with 4 fans that contained criminal elements. However, at a time when it seems like Lana Del Rey could use support the most, her boyfriend, Francesco Carrozzini, is missing in action. Nonetheless, it looks like Francesco has a good reason to be in Italy, and that involves his mother. As editor-in-chief at Vogue Italia, Francesco's mother is always in the news for fashion events. As it appears, Lana Del Rey may have been aware that Francesco's mother, Franca Sozzani, is about to start facing some big changes at work. According to a January report from Engage, the publishers that own Vogue Italia, Condé Nast, are restructuring the company, and it appears that Lana Del Rey's paramour-in-law might have a reason to be stressed. Starting on February 15th, Franca Sozzani will have several new people reporting to her, in addition to her usual duties. As for Francesco, he may not be with Lana Del Rey, but he is making good use of the time. Along with being around for his mother for support, Francesco Carrozzini continues to land one photography gig after another with A-list celebrities. He photographed Ben Stiller for Vanity Fair Italia. He was giving input to a documentary made about Janis Joplin. Lana Del Rey might be a little lonely for Francesco because he is in Italy to visit the Pope and to help the planet. Francesco contributed to an event orchestrated for the Pope Francis by Connect for Climate. Radio Vaticana also thanked Francesco for contributing to the Fiat Lux light display at St. Peter's Basilica for Connect for Climate in mid-December. Now, somebody explained to me that Lana Del Rey, actually Kevin, after we did Addendum with Kevin, he explained to me that Lana Del Rey, who used to be a model, which is pretty apparent, is idolized by young teenage girls because they see her as the type of girl they want to be. Lana Del Rey kind of is the not popular girl, and she's sort of like, oh, poor me, oh, wah. And apparently teenage girls want to be that. I don't understand, but that's whatever. So my 47-year-old brain can't comprehend. But I can comprehend sharrows. What's a sharrow? No, it's not share. It's share. The Alameda County Public Works Agency is installing new pavement markings on roadways throughout unincorporated Alameda County, which includes Podcastro Valley. Called shared lane markings or sharrows, the markings indicate that a roadway is a shared bike route. But they are not the same as bike lanes, and some confusion exists about them. I saw one today as I was walking Basil the Boxer. We were walking up this one street in Podcastro Valley, Higher, the name of the street, and I saw some sharrows there written on the road. Sharrows are recommended on some narrower Class 3 roads, while bike lanes appear on wider streets, depending on other factors. The sharrow markings include a bicycle symbol and 2 white chevrons. They are stenciled in white paint on roads as a reminder to motorists not only that bikes may be present on the road, but that they are legally allowed to take the full lane. The name sharrow is a combination of the word share and arrow, and was coined by Oliver Gajda of the San Francisco Bicycle Program. In addition, this according to Castro Valley Forum, the throwaway newspaper that appears on everybody's doorstep in Podcastro Valley, in addition to offering motorists a visual reminder that bicycles exist and may be present in traffic, sharrows offer an ideal line for people riding bikes to position themselves in the shared lane. This positioning is intended to reduce the chance of a bicyclist hitting an open door of a parked vehicle and the uncertainty of a bicyclist weaving in and out of parked cars. It also reduces the chance of unsafe passing when there is not enough room for both a motor vehicle and a bicycle to travel side by side within the same traffic lane. Sharrows are also intended to discourage wrong-way bicycling, riding against the flow of vehicular traffic, and riding on sidewalks. But did you get that, bicyclists? Don't ride on sidewalks. Oh my God! How many times have I walked down a sidewalk and a bicyclist is going the opposite direction of traffic on the sidewalk that I am on, and I'm walking Basil the Boxer, and the bicyclist almost hits my dog. Frick! I'll look out and not hit you on the road if you look out and don't hit me on a sidewalk. That's how it works out. Based on San Francisco experimental data in 2004, the California Traffic Control Devices Committee approved the use of the marking in the state. But spokespersons from both the Department of Motor Vehicles and the California Highway Patrol confirmed to CBS News in Los Angeles the word sharrow does not appear in the California Vehicle Code, which seems to leave room for interpretation on road sharing. According to Wikipedia, sharrows are in many parts of the U.S. and the world, but studies on their effectiveness have been inconclusive. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Lana Del Rey has stalkers. That's how freaking big she is, and I didn't realize this. The podcast picture had to do with something in Podcastro Valley. It's a creek near the dog park that I take my dog to, the Earl Warren Park grounds, which is funny because I used to live in near Santa Barbara, and they have the Earl Warren Showgrounds down there where they have their big fair every year. But no, the Earl Warren Park is different, and they've got this creek that usually has no water in it at all, but because of all the rain we've had lately, it's this freaking river, and you can see that picture now at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Mike Matthews, thank you for talking about Lana Del Rey. I think she's a woman that needs to be talked about more because she's like so beautiful, and I want to be her. Okay, that's great, Chely. Thanks. You're welcome. Next show, I have actually a band with some substance, a music group with some substance, because of what they're trying to do is help the world in a very specific way, and I will tell you what that is and the band next show. Plus, we will hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at Mike'sDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!